Hi, I'm Rob from That Little Box. A few years ago I did a video explaining how to control Spotify from QLab using AppleScripts. The method I described back then has changed a bit. Spotify have changed how we play back using AppleScripts. They are want to do that sort of thing, given the fact that playing to an audience is against their terms and conditions, but yeah, so yeah, this is how we now do it. Just playing what's already selected is pretty straightforward and hasn't changed. So we're going to create an AppleScript and we're going to tell application Spotify to activate. That's going to open Spotify. We're then going to tell application Spotify to turn its volume all the way up, just as a bit of safety. And then we're going to play. And then finally, we're going to tell application QLab 5 to activate, bring us back into QLab. So let's just give that a try. So play Spotify. There you go. So now we can stop Spotify in pretty much the same way. Tell application Spotify activate. Pause. Spotify doesn't do stop. It considers a pause a play. You can never stop. So there you go. And you see Spotify popped open for briefly. We paused it and we went back to QLab. Now here's the bit that's changed. It used to be that you could get this shareable link and just take that bit there. Everything up to and not including that question mark. And that would be your link to the playlist. Not so anymore. Now they want Spotify :playlist followed by everything from here to there, to that question mark. Now, that's a bit fiddly, so I've written this AppleScript here, and what that does is it extracts the playlist ID from this URL, and then it will mix that with this header, and then tell Spotify to activate, set the volume to level, which we've set up here. It can be 100 or it could be 0 if you want to fade up Spotify after you had it start playing. And then it'll play track music, and music is here. You see, we've set music to this thing here. So if we go into Spotify and we find a playlist we like, let's find my wife's Sunday morning chill mix. And we go here and we go share, copy link to playlist. We can now go here and paste that in. And we don't need to do anything else. That will get the playlist ID for us, and we should end up playing a Sunday morning chill playlist. Oh, would you look at that? All these scripts are available in the description. There's a couple more things that I got asked about after my last video, and they were fading. So we can't tell Spotify to fade over time as we would in QLab. We can't say, okay, in 5 seconds go from full on to full off. But we can set a discrete level. We can tell it anywhere between 0 and 100. That's where I want your volume to be. So the way we're going to fade is we are going to set a tick level and change that level every few seconds or fractions of seconds. Here we're going to change by 5 over every quarter of a second, and we're going to repeat until the volume is 0. So it's pretty straightforward. If you look at it, properties, we're going to change by 5. We're going to go every quarter of a second. We're going to tell application Spotify to repeat, and it's going to repeat everything until end repeat. So we're going to, if the sound volume is already less than or equal to 5, we're going to set it to 0. But if it's not, we're going to take the current volume and take away the tick value and set that as the new volume. And as we're fading down on this one, I've put a pause in as well so that when it gets to the end, it'll stop. So let's just give that a look in Spotify. So there it is, fading down. And when it's done, it should flip back to QLab. There we go. And to fade up, we use pretty much the same script, except here you can see that rather than being less than or equal to, I've put it as greater than or equal to 100, so it basically fades up until it's 100 or more. And instead of minusing the tick, we plus the tick. So this time we should fade. If we go to play Spotify playlist and I set this level to 0, and then I hit play. So that's now playing, but the volume's all the way down. And then I go to fade up Spotify. And there's Paolo Nutini. So, yeah, that is how we control Spotify from QLab. I hope it's straightforward, and I hope they don't change it again anytime soon. You can find all of these scripts in the description. Thanks for watching. Bye.